Hello, Lakers Nation. My name is Trevor Lane, senior writer for LakersNation.com, and this is the Lakers Nation news feed. Magic Johnson blowing things up, the destroyer of worlds. We're going to talk all about Magic's appearance on First Take and the things that he said. But first, quick shout out to our sponsor, betonline.ag. All you have to do is go to clnsmedia.com/LeBron. That lets them know that you came from us, and punch in the promo code CLNS50 to get 50% on your first deposit. Make sure you go check them out. Your home for online sports betting. All right, so Magic Johnson went on First Take this morning. Yes, the Lakers are going to introduce their new head coach, Frank Vogel, shortly, and Magic Johnson went on First Take and just was spitting fire everywhere. He was like the Drogon from Game of Thrones or something like that. He was destroying it all, and we're going to talk about that because, man, this is not a great look for the Lakers organization. Magic detailed that he believed Rob Pelinka was the one stabbing him in the back. Remember, he had that comment about backstabbing when he gave that impromptu resignation oration, I suppose, before the Lakers' final game of the season when he shocked everyone and announced that he was leaving. So Magic had mentioned backstabbing. Now he clarifies, says Rob Pelinka was backstabbing him by talking behind his back. He said that Rob was going around talking to people both inside and outside of the organization about how little Magic Johnson was actually in the office and how he wasn't there very much. Now look, if Magic is not in the office very often, if he's not fully committed to the job, that's a problem for the Lakers. That really is, because you're competing against guys who are workaholics, who are there all the time. I'm talking about like Daryl Morey and Bob Myers and R.C. Buford and people like that are going to be in the office doing everything they can to drag their teams forward into the future. And if Magic is unable to do that, then that's a problem. But here's where it gets interesting. Magic also said that he spoke to Jeanie when she was talking to him about taking the job and trying to convince him to take the job, and said that one of his conditions was that, hey, I've got my outside businesses. I make more money doing things outside of the Lakers, and so I need to continue those things. And Jeanie said that's fine. She was okay with that. So obviously that throws into question Jeanie Buss here, right? I mean, a lot of what Magic said today does do that. It makes us question Jeanie Buss and her decision-making. If you're hiring on someone to be the president of basketball operations that is telling you, I can't be here all the time, I can't put in full-time hours on this job, when that is very much a full-time job and then some. So that's not a good thing. But Magic felt betrayed by Rob Pelinka, who was going around saying these things, and Magic even mentioned that he was basically grooming Rob to take over the job, that he was only going to be in that job for 3 years, and then he was going to step aside and let Rob come in and take over, and that Rob knew that and still was going around saying these things about Magic, and then he felt like it was kind of a power play. So that's one thing, obviously not having a lot of faith in Rob Pelinka, and that's going to be a negative for the Lakers heading into free agency when Magic Johnson, who's respected by all of these players around the league and everybody loves Magic, is saying bad things about Rob Pelinka, and now Rob Pelinka is going to be the guy sitting across the table from Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler and Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving and every other top free agent that the Lakers would like to sign. They're going to have to go through Rob Pelinka, who Magic Johnson just threw a ton of shade at. Now, Magic also mentioned that there are essentially too many cooks in the kitchen, too many voices in Jeanie Buss's ear, and that it led them to paralysis. It made it so they couldn't make a decision. He particularly was critical of Tim Harris from the business side of things, saying that he was getting involved in basketball decisions, specifically in the decision to fire Luke Walton, and that over a course of a few days, they went back and forth a few times with either having the okay to fire Luke or not having the okay to fire Luke. And so that was a big problem for Magic, because he needed, at least he felt like he needed the authority to just go ahead and do it and get rid of Luke Walton and bring in another coach. But unfortunately, he felt like he could not do that, and that Jeanie was not fully on board, and partially because Tim Harris was in favor of keeping Luke Walton. And so that created some friction within the organization, and Magic felt like, hey, if I don't have the power that I thought I was going to have, I need to step aside, because clearly Jeanie told him, at least according to Magic, that when he was taking the job, he had the authority to make decisions, and he felt like he did not have that authority once push came to shove and it was time to get rid of Luke Walton. Now, again, this doesn't paint a very pleasant picture of Jeanie Buss, because it paints her as this person who can't make decisions, who just has all of these people around her telling her things, and she doesn't know who to listen to or how to fully make the decision, and that she needs to pare it down and get to just one voice or just a couple of voices instead of having all of these different people telling her different things. Magic mentioned that he felt like people had gotten to Jeanie Buss before he could and put things in her ear, and then she just went with it. And that's a problem for the Lakers moving forward. That really is. That's something that is going to have to be addressed, and hopefully something that can be fixed. Now, he also mentioned, look, Magic did take the blame for some things. He took the blame for not bringing back Brook Lopez. He felt like that was a mistake on his part, and it certainly was. Brook Lopez has been killing it for the Milwaukee Bucks, who look like they could be heading to the NBA Finals on a minuscule contract of just over $3 million. He would have been a great fit with the Lakers, and yet the Lakers just let him walk away. Major mistake by Magic Johnson, and he did admit that. But the other thing we need to address is just the timing of all of this. Why do all of this if you're Magic Johnson? And if you're Magic and you think all of these things, and that's fine. If you have issues with Rob Pelinka, you've got issues with Jeanie Buss and her decision making, you've got issues with the way the organization is structured, that's fine. Is right now, right after the Lakers move up in the draft, and there's finally some positivity after months of just negativity about the Lakers as they're missing the playoffs, and the Magic resigns and all of these things. Luke Walton leaves to go coach the Sacramento Kings. All of these things happen. And finally, there's some positivity because they move up in the draft. They move up from 11 to 4. Then Magic, just hours before they're going to introduce a new head coach, Magic goes online and airs all their dirty laundry. He goes on air and airs all their dirty laundry, just throws it all out there. That's a bad look for the organization, especially as they need to try to present a united front, because free agents don't want to go play for a team that is in disarray. So if anything, getting this draft pick took a little step forward, but Magic Johnson just knocked them a number of steps back. If you're someone who wants to see the Lakers land max level free agents this summer, what Magic Johnson just did was extremely damaging. Look, and what he's saying may be true. Okay, he may very well be right about this, and maybe there are changes that need to be made long term in the organization. But is right now the time to be saying them, knowing the damage that you're going to do to the team's ability to go out and sign free agents, knowing the speculation that the front office is now going to have to deal with, that Rob Pelinka is going to have to deal with. If you're Magic Johnson and you truly want to see the Lakers successful, and that means landing another star this summer, you just dealt them a major blow. And so you got to call into question what Magic's motives were here. First of all, why say all of these things? And then second of all, why say them now? Why not wait until, say, August? Okay, after free agency, when the NBA rumor mill has kind of died down and all of that, maybe you could say something then, or maybe at a different time. But to say it when we are a month away from the NBA draft, 6 weeks or so away from the start of free agency, this stuff is going to be fresh in the minds of agents and players. And I think he created another media storm for the Lakers. And I can only imagine how they're going to deal with some of the questions that are going to be tossed their way during Frank Vogel's introductory press conference. Got to kind of feel bad for Frank Vogel. I mean, right, he's getting introduced as the coach, and there's going to be a lot of questions that have nothing to do with him because of all the things that Magic Johnson just laid out on live television. All right, guys, for more on this story and everything else going on in the world of the Los Angeles Lakers, as though there could be more going on in the world of the Lakers, head over to LakersNation.com, your home for everything Lakers. And, of course, make sure you keep it tuned here to the Lakers Nation YouTube channel. Until next time, see ya.